All right, let's just dive right into this explainer. Have you ever thought about how the human body is, well, it's basically like a car's dashboard? You know when you're driving and suddenly that little check engine light pops on because there's an invisible problem under the hood? Your body does the exact same thing. We often think of serious conditions, things like hypoxia, heart failure, or cirrhosis, as these deeply hidden mysteries that need massive, complex machines to detect. But the truth is, the body is constantly broadcasting its status right on the surface. It comes with this incredibly sophisticated set of external warning lights pointing to internal, sometimes silent diseases. And today we're going to learn exactly how to read those visible signs on our skin, our nails, and our lymph nodes. So here's what we're going over today. First, the body's warning dashboard. Then we'll read the nails with clubbing. Look at the blue alert of cyanosis, the yellow flag of jaundice, and finally, check out our bodyguards, the lymph nodes.
All right, Part 1, the body's warning dashboard. Moving right along to Part 2, clubbing, and how to read the nails.
Okay, I want you to actually do this with me right now. Let's do a hands-on check of your respiratory and cardiovascular health. Take the fingernails of your 2 index fingers and press them together, knuckle to knuckle, nail to nail. Now look really closely at the space between the bases of your nails. Do you see a tiny kite-shaped gap of light peeking through? That little gap is a test known as Shamroth's sign. And if you see the light, fantastic!
But if that little kite-shaped gap is gone, you're looking at something we call clubbing. Essentially, that normal angle at the base of your nail just disappears. The tissue actually gets this weird, spongy, boggy feel to it, and the tip of the finger swells up to look almost like a tiny drumstick. Now, it sounds a bit strange, but this physical change is an absolutely crucial warning light for your lungs and your heart. But how in the world does a lung problem change the shape of your fingernail?
Well, it comes down to the platelet theory, which brilliantly explains the mechanics behind this. Normally, you have these massive cells called megakaryocytes that get broken down into tiny, normal platelets right inside your lungs. But if the lung's circulation is disrupted by inflammation, cancer, or a cardiac shunt, these giant cells literally bypass the lung's filter. They sneak right into your main bloodstream, travel all the way down, and get stuck in the tiny capillary beds of your fingertips and toes. Once they're trapped there, they release these super potent growth factors, PDGF and VGF, which basically command that local tissue to grow, swell, and become boggy.
So the big takeaway here is that clubbing isn't just some quirky finger shape. It's heavily linked to serious thoracic, cardiovascular, or gastrointestinal disruptions. We're talking about really severe conditions like bronchocarcinoma, which is lung cancer, or chronic lung infections like an abscess. It even points to congenital cyanotic heart disease, inflammatory bowel diseases like Crohn's, or liver cirrhosis. Simply put, your fingertips are screaming that something is fundamentally wrong deep inside the engine.
Okay, Part 3, cyanosis, or the blue alert.
Now, let's shift gears from the shape of our digits to the color of our skin. What happens when your body's oxygen supply just plummets? You get cyanosis, which is that dusky, bluish tint to the skin and mucous membranes. But here's the thing. It doesn't just happen the exact second you hold your breath. Cyanosis only becomes visibly obvious when you hit a very specific critical threshold, 50 grams per liter or more of completely oxygen-depleted hemoglobin in your blood. That's a lot. It means a massive chunk of your blood is currently failing to carry the oxygen your tissues literally need to survive.
But context is absolutely everything when you're looking at this blue alert. You have to compare central versus peripheral cyanosis. If you're seeing blue on the tongue or the inside of the mouth, that is central cyanosis. It's systemic. Your lungs aren't transferring oxygen, or your heart is pumping unoxygenated blood directly to the rest of the body. On the flip side, if it's just the tips of the fingers or toes, that's peripheral cyanosis. That might just mean you're freezing cold and your blood vessels clamp down, or there's a local blockage, like a blood clot in the leg.
And you really need to know this. If that central blue alert comes on suddenly and the person is struggling to breathe, what we call dyspnea, that is a drop-everything absolute medical emergency. This combination points to catastrophic events, like a pulmonary embolus, where a clot suddenly chokes off the lung's blood supply, or flash pulmonary edema, or even a severe asthma attack. Your body's dashboard is flashing bright red by turning blue. Moving right along to Part 4, jaundice, the yellow flag.
Let's look at another major color change. What happens when the liver's plumbing gets backed up? The dashboard turns a very distinct yellow. This is jaundice, clinically known as icterus, and it's caused by a buildup of bilirubin, which is just a waste product from old, broken-down red blood cells. Normally, your liver sweeps this right out,
But you'll start to see that yellowing in the skin, and especially in the sclera, the white part of the eyes, when circulating bilirubin levels hit a high threshold of between 35 and 60 micromoles per liter. If you look at someone in natural sunlight and their eyes are yellow, their internal system is seriously backed up. Think of jaundice as 3 distinct types of plumbing failures. First up, prehepatic. This is where the body is destroying too many red blood cells too quickly, basically overloading the system with waste. Second is hepatic. This means the factory itself, the liver, is damaged, maybe from a virus like hepatitis or toxins, so it's failing to process a normal workload. And third, cholestatic. The liver works fine, but the drainage pipe is physically blocked by a gallstone or a tumor. And when that pipe is blocked, the waste backs up into the blood and then dumps into the kidneys, giving you dark, tea-colored urine and surprisingly pale stools.
Now, this brings us to Courvoisier's law, which is just a brilliant piece of classic medical detective logic. It states that if someone has a blocked drainage pipe, obstructive jaundice, and you can physically feel their swollen gallbladder during an exam, but they have zero pain, that is a huge warning sign. Why? Because gallstones usually cause chronic scarring that shrinks the gallbladder so it literally can't stretch. So a painless, stretched-out gallbladder paired with a yellow flag highly suggests a slow-growing blockage, which very often points to pancreatic cancer. It's wild how much you can deduce from just a couple of physical clues.
All right, our final section, part 5, lymph nodes, the bodyguards.
Let's transition from our body's fluid systems and check out its physical security checkpoints. You have hundreds of lymph nodes, but the ones right on the surface are the easiest to read on the dashboard. We're looking at the cervical nodes in the neck, axillary nodes in the armpits, inguinal nodes down in the groin, epitrochlear nodes near the elbow, and the supraclavicular nodes sitting just above your collarbone. These are the primary spots where you can literally feel a localized immune response kicking in.
But here's a massive plot twist when interpreting this part of the dashboard. Pain is actually a good thing. I know, it sounds totally backwards, but if a swollen lymph node hurts and is tender when you touch it, your immune system is likely just doing its job perfectly, fighting off an active viral or bacterial infection. However, if you find an enlarged node that is completely painless, hard, rubbery, or matted together, that's an infiltrative node. And that is a glaring red flag requiring urgent investigation for lymphomas or cancers that have spread from somewhere else.
It is absolutely wild how connected everything is. Get this, finding a single painless swollen node right near the left collarbone, often called Virchow's node, isn't actually a neck problem. The lymphatic drainage for your entire lower body travels all the way up through the abdomen and connects to the bloodstream right at that exact spot on the left side. So a lump up there in a young guy can directly reveal a hidden malignancy all the way down in the testes, or even the stomach or colon. One tiny external light exposing a massive internal system. So as we wrap up this explainer, I just want to leave you with this thought. Your body isn't a black box. It is communicating with you constantly. Take a second today to really look at your hands, inspect your nails, check the color of your skin, and feel for your body's security checkpoints. What warning lights might be glowing right in front of you, just waiting to be read? Keep your eyes open, stay curious, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.